devastated and sad, and at the same time there's just a kind of a terrible anger underneath, you know, that we should be made. It's kind of it's like being raped, but that kind of sense of helplessness that has been imposed, and that this is happening against the wishes of the people in the world, and it is unjustified, it is unnecessary, and it will not solve the problems.
Now, Michael, in your own time, just in a basic opinion, your views on the Iraq War, and what's the best thing for Ireland to do to involve themselves in the peacekeeping mission now that the war has begun and has already started? We can't stop that now that started. There you go, I think it stops.
I believe the war is a tragedy and that the war could have been avoided. And tragically for us too in Ireland, we weren't active in promoting the alternatives to war. And when it came to a hard choice, rather than offend the United States, and we should have used our friendship with the United States to persuade them against the war, we decided that we would roll over, and not even directly. The Irish government has operated quite disgracefully by, in a kind of nod and wink way. You cannot say that you provide the facilities and are not responsible for the end point of the moral consequences. What should we do now? We should, I think, use our experience, and it's very considerable, in assuring that no politics stands in the way of the bringing of immediate humanitarian relief. Children in institutions, for example, the elderly.
Can you put the mic
find
up
a lot
for,
of people around the major cities who are in institutions who are reliant on therapeutic feeding, the very small children. You have about 1 million pregnant women, and you would, I think, probably have between 2 and 2.5 million children under 5 who are already adjudged as malnourished. They can't wait until an argument between the United States, the European Union and countries like Ireland is resolved.
You want the winter Iraq after winter and down. The day he talks to me, she foiled the The first thing I want to say is that this campaign against the horror war must continue, must broaden and must extend. If there is one hope we have, which is a positive outcome of the horrific events that have taken place, including some undemocratically in our name, it is that all over the world the people are debating the horrific concept of war and what it means. I think it's worth thinking for a few minutes about the power of the people on the street, the power of the people who are operating out of their hearts all over the world, on the thousands, millions of people who are saying something very simple that can be translated into any language that can come out of any memory. We are human, we are interdependent, we need each other. We believe that the abuse of the world's resources for killing and murder is something that we will change, something that can be changed. And it is my wish that I can see, I hope that the millions of people in all these cities, not only those who are hurt themselves and deprived and those who are starved, but those ethical people who are willing to speak in their name, that they will turn this campaign beyond an objection to this war into an objection to all wars, and beyond that man, that the resources of the world will be used to feed the people of the world in an ecologically responsible way. I'm after leaving a radio program where people are crowing about the consequences of war. A war that has had 56 billion just expended on it already. The cost of feeding the children of Iraq and the people who need food is $135 million for the next 6 months. And less than 1/3 of that is pledged. I don't want to delay you, I want to say this. We are in solidarity with all of those who regard it as an obscenity that the world would not have clean water for 28 billion, and 396 billion is being spent by the largest superpower in the world. Can we think for a second, if this country that has so much resources, the United States, that want to just build its riches and its resources in the interest of humanity on the planet, what kind of planet we could be living on? This war is illegal. Cooperation with this war is illegal. It is in violation of our Constitution. How can you say that you will feed and assist, that you will look after the fueling and the preparation of an instrument of death, and say you are not responsible for the end point and the moral consequences? We are not human. We are not human. And no one believes this kind of lie. What happened was, our government lacked the courage to say to one of its closest friends, it did not use its friendship to advise its friend that this was wrong. Rather, it took a responsibility. Those of us who want children to be fed, those of us who want an end to the capitalism that is the seedbed of all this destructive mindset, all of us must work together, and we must work to create the basis of the new thinking. All the millions around the world combining say, no longer will it be acceptable that a third of the world will live on less than $2 a day. No longer accepting that another 100, maybe 1.2 billion live on less than $1 a day. No longer accepting a life expectancy for other people of different skin color and culture less than our own, or a standard of security less than our own. Let our great rage go around the world against war and in favor of the alternative world that is there to be created and that is now beginning. But we must ensure, we must damage them with our messages, we must not allow them to control more of the media, we must insist on our story, and when our story is excluded from the screens on the radios, we'll go to the streets again and again and again all